Here's my ranking of every episode in Breaking Bad Season 1. I'm currently reacting to Breaking Bad for the first time on my YouTube channel, Lyric Reacts Media, so go subscribe to that channel if you want me to react to it. I'm currently in Season 2, so I've already reacted to all of Season 1, and here's my ranking, and we're going to continue to do these rankings every time I finish a season of these episode rankings to see what my thoughts are in general in these short-form content videos before, at the end of the show, I eventually do a long-form YouTube video. Spoiler for all of Season 1 of Breaking Bad. At number 7, I got Episode 4, Cancer Man. I feel like overall this episode just had the least amount of action and important plot points as in any of the other episodes in Season 1, but the main big plot point in this episode being Walt telling his family that he has cancer finally, and of course the fantastic final scene of the oven blowing up the guy's car, which helps show his descent into Heisenberg. Number 6, I got Episode 2, The Cat in the Bag. This episode mainly deals with the outfall of the end of Episode 1, and does have the amazing scene of Jesse disintegrating Emilio in his tub and it going through his ceiling, but overall I feel like it did not have as many memorable moments as the other episodes in the series that dealt with the aftermath of Episode 1. Apart from, of course, my name is Skylar White-Yo. My husband is Walter White-Yo. At number 5, I got Episode 5, Gray Matter. This introduced us to the entire Gray Matter storyline, which we had not been introduced to previously, which built a further depth into the series and the lore, and I think it had this fantastic emotional scene of Walter discussing why he didn't want to get treatment to the rest of the family, which I thought was fantastically done, though it did not have really any drug-dealing plot in it, but I think the emotions in it made up for it. I thought it was a good episode. This episode also did have Jesse and Badger's whole storyline of them trying to make cook together, so yeah, helicopter bitch. At number 4, I got the season finale, Episode 7, a no rough stuff type deal. This episode did have Walt going full Heisenbergs about the entire thing, and we got more Tuco action, which was great, with the ending of him beating the guy to death, and we got the heist of them stealing the barrel, him and Jesse. I think this episode mainly just gets bogged down by the Maurice storyline of her stealing, which I didn't really care for, but everything involving Walt and Jesse and Tuco in this episode was fantastic, and I think it was a good season finale, even though it wasn't intended to be a season finale. At number 3, I have the pilot episode. This episode really introduces us to the characters, I think, in a fantastic way, and overall gets us really invested in a pretty short time span from Walt going from a normal guy to a drug dealer. I think, drug creator, I guess, and overall, I think it does feel a bit rushed, his transition from teacher to drug lord, but I think it had to be because I don't think they should have spent any more than one episode transitioning him to that, and I overall think, though, it was a fantastic beginning episode, but not as well paced as the top 2, which I think are very, very fantastic episodes. Number 2, I have Episode 3, And the Bags in the River. The scene of Walt and Domingo talking in the basement and him connecting more with them and then eventually deciding that he has to kill him in self-defense is potentially the best single scene, I think, in this entire season, and I think it's just a really emotional moment, him defiantly deciding to kill him for the first time, really the first time Walt ever decides to fully kill someone that wasn't in just immediate self-defense, even if it was kind of in self-defense here, and I think that whole scene is fantastic and super emotional how they built it up, talking about Domingo the entire episode and eventually killing him at the end. I thought it was fantastically done. And at number 1, I got Episode 6, A Crazy Handful of Nothing, as the best episode in Season 1. This is the transition point from Walter going from Walter White to Heisenberg's, where he gets the nicknames, where he shaves his head bald, and he completely confronts a drug kingpin straight to face and gets the upper hand on him. It is the transition point from the beginning to the end of this episode, where he officially becomes Heisenberg at the beginning of the episode, saying he wants no more bloodshed, and by the end of the episode causing the bloodshed. This episode also introduces us to Tuco, who becomes a fantastic character, and overall this episode is just fantastic, and I feel like this episode would have worked better, honestly, as a season finale, as Walter's character particularly has a before and after of this episode of becoming Heisenberg in the full sense. If you want to see my reaction to Season 2, go watch Lyric Reacts Media, and after I finish Season 2, I'll do a ranking for that.